Hello everyone, this is Derf 3000. Okay, I don't know why, but according to script, I have to pretend to be a robot today. I don't know why I asked me to. Because today's topic is actually to answer one of the questions or one of the um, requests from our fans that he or she actually requested us to make video about our dolls for newcomers because they don't know much about Ruby Red. So it'd be nice to describe a little bit about us, about the dolls that we make, so that for newcomers they can have a, I guess like a kind of like a boot camp video, something like that, just to expedite the learning process, right? But I have no idea why I have to pretend to be a robot. I did not contest it just in case, she suddenly say like, "Oh, if you don't like that, you can do it in high-pitched screaming voice." So of course you pick your battles, right? So make sure. Anyway, so I didn't contest it. So anyway, so I was a robot, and so I'm going to talk about some of our dolls today. This is the main point of the video, and I know a lot of you who are our long-term fans that a lot of you have great memory. A lot of you know about our brand even more than I do. And I'll be very honest, my memory is just so bad that, probably I miss out a lot of details. So for those of you who are watching this video and you see some of our dolls and you want to elaborate on it, please feel free to add on to it. It will help me a lot. But with all that, yes, please like, share, and subscribe. I is making signs to make sure that I say that. So I'll use the same sign. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right. So okay, with that, so let us start talking about our dolls. Since this is kind of an impromptu video and I'm supposed to describe our doll, let's see which one I pick. All right, let's pick this one. This one is very fun. So this is Thomas. He is named after Tom Ruby Red, whose real name is Thomas. So there's a little fun story about him. We actually have a naming committee. We have a name book like this thick that, every doll we have to put a name on. And then sometimes we just, don't we don't know any more new names, right? So we have to look through that book and then we have to name them. And so in the past, we had a doll called Will. And it was named after Will. Oh, no, William, that was named after Will. And I think one day he was just jealous and said, like, why do I have a doll and why doesn't Thomas have a doll? Actually, now thinking back, that's why was that question so strange? Because you know what, it should be a privilege to have a doll named after you. No Derf dolls though, anyway. But yeah. But then he's like, no, why doesn't Thomas have a doll? And then just so happens that in the naming committee they say like, okay, to be fair, we should have a Thomas doll. So that's how his name came along. Yeah, that's just a little background for our newcomers. That's how we choose our names. But a little bit is he's a core line doll. And what core lines are, they are not limited editions. So we have them all year round, and we will stock them if we run out of stock until they retire, which is generally maybe a few years later. And he is a core line boy. He's 14.5 inch tall, which is consistent with nearly all of our Ruby Rat Fashion Friend dolls. But there are some limited editions. The limited editions are dolls that we have a limited number, like the name says. Some of them are 15.5 inch tall. So, yep. So mostly, generally, our dolls are 14.5 inch, but we do have some boys that are 15.5 inch, which has a slightly taller and also bigger feet. So, just to let you know. All right, so let's put Thomas aside and let's look for our next doll. Let's see which one. Let's choose this one. So this is Henry. This is a Sibley's height doll. Sibley's are our, should I say counterpart? Or like a kind of like another line of dolls in the Ruby Rat Fashion Friends series. They're 12-inch dolls. And the name Siblings imply that, you know, they are siblings of our Rare Fresh and Friend dolls, mainline dolls. So all the core line dolls that we have, they actually have siblings. Um, and so yeah, that's where Siblings come into. But this is a limited edition. This is not connected to the core line. This is Henry. It's just a doll in the Sibley series. And why I chose this one is because our chief designer, Ruby, my mom, she loves like school uniform, especially British school uniform. So um, she always she makes me wear them when I was young. She also forces her husband to dress up like a British proper gentleman all the time. But she's just fascinated by it, and always thinks that, you know, the British people are the most well dressed, and I might not agree to that, but you know, everyone has their what they like. But yeah, so this is Henry in the Sibley's series. All right, so let's put Henry away and let's look for our next doll. Let's see which doll. Oh, what about this one? So this is Kiki. She's special because it's a collaboration with us with a pyrography workshop. Actually, she comes with a pyrographic painting. Let me. Oh, here it is. Okay, so just a little bit about Kiki. So um, we actually always reach out and try to see who we can collaborate with, right? And there was one day that I was invited to a pyrography workshop in China. So it is a form of art that is slowly disappearing, but I think it's fabulous. There's actually a video of me going there. Maybe I can show the link. It's been a while, right? But basically, our collaboration, they made this kind of painting. Well, actually, I don't even know if it's called painting because it doesn't have paint on it. But what's special is they use a soldering iron or an iron, and they actually singe the paper to draw this. And I mean, look at the details. It actually takes an hour for them to draw, probably this painting right here. And you can see every stroke of them is, oops, let me put this back. Every stroke of this is like a singe, essentially. And you can see like the darker black color that's probably singed with a higher temperature and probably even with longer time. And the lighter, I won't say brush stroke, but they're not really brush stroke, they're like iron strokes, are with made with lesser time and lower temperature. But every stroke is made with that iron, and the precision, I mean, is just beautiful. So just looking at the artists are just fabulous. I mean, just watching them go from zero to a full picture. There's a video of it that probably I can show everyone. And what is sad that it is disappearing because now we have printers and they can probably print this out in just like seconds, whereas someone who is working on this painting would take like an hour to make. But it is just fascinating to watch how they make this thing. I didn't even know pyrography was a thing before I visited them, and they just amazed me. So, yep, this is a very special episode that in my life that I was so grateful for. And so, yeah, we collaborated and we used Kiki, and they drew Kiki on this painting. And yep, this is a limited edition, which also means she's limited in numbers. Okay, so I think that's all about Kiki. Let me move on to the next doll. Let me see which doll. Let me face this way first. Oh, let's. She's fun. And let me make it better. All right. I hope I didn't forget her name. She's Lorenna, right? Yeah. Okay. Good. There's so many dolls and so many names. I'm not even. You know, my memory is so bad. Um, yeah, this is great. If you want to learn something about Ruby Red, yeah, just remember me. Derf has a very bad memory. So if I say something wrong, for those who have been with us for a long time, please correct me because I'm just sometimes unreliable. But anyway, so this is Lorenna, and you know, why I chose this doll was, you know, Kiki. We worked with pyrographic painters. I actually don't know how to name is it pyrographers, but anyway, the artist who does pyrography. This time we worked with an artist who designs dolls. So she's designed by a Czech designer, doll designer named Jana Blaskova. We have worked with her for many years. Actually, we go way back. And she does the most beautiful designs. And this Lorenna, I think, was released either this year or the year before this. Something recent. Yeah, it's been too many. But yeah, we work very nicely together. She usually sends us drawings on what she thinks is constitutes a good doll. Then maybe I can show a picture of her drawing, right? And then we make the doll. So I remember this doll is of South Asian descent, and she's just stunning. All right. So after Lorenna, let's see which doll I should look at, and let me lay her down because no, just in case I shake the table and they all come crumbling down like dominoes. So let's see. Oh, this one is a nice doll. Let me pull her here. All right. So this is a limited edition doll. I think her name is Ada. Okay, right. It's Ada. Of course, this is more East Asian, of East Asian descent. And I think my mom sculpted her. I might be wrong, but I think it's my mom, the sculptor. And what was special is actually I like the dress. So this dress is made in collaboration with one of my mom's oldest friends. Her name is Jan, and they go way back. Jan is now probably in the 80s or 90s, and she's still a very, very good pattern maker. And they use a technique called 3D draping to make the best doll costume designs. Basically, they put pieces of paper and then they kind of stick it on the doll to get the shape of the dresses, and yeah, and the cutting is just wonderful. So, I mean, just look at this. It looks like there's many layers, but it's actually like one big piece that just folded in together, and it gives a very, very appealing visual effect, if you can see here. And this was also a limited edition. I remember vividly that this one sold out in seconds. A lot of people love her, and we are so grateful because you know, we're so glad that there are so many fans who support us. All right, so let's do one more doll. Let's put her away. She should be Ada. I hope I'm not wrong. Anyway, let's see. One more doll. We need to find one really special one. This one. So this is Juniper. Actually, she comes in two wigs. This is one of her wigs. And why she's very special is she's covering my face. So we need to put her aside. Anyway. I mean, yeah, if you can't see it, but eye is like, move her, move her, move her. Right? So I'm sliding her. She's not looking at the camera. All right. Is she looking at the camera now? Okay. All right. So yep, this is Juniper, and what's so special is okay. So we talked about Lorenna. We talked about the Kiki. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. See how bad my memory is? Just proved my point. Anyway, that we work with designers around. We also work with our fans. So this is very special. This is a doll that is designed by our fans, headed by Julie Smiley and her group. I hope I didn't remember wrong. Ruby Red Fashion Friends Sensations and Secrets. Actually, it just so happened there's a cheat sheet up there for with that name on. Yeah. For those who don't know, we actually have a wall behind the camera of all the requests and comments that our fans has requested for. This is just for us to keep track on all the suggestions and what our fans like. And we have that, we put those requests on there, so just to remind us that every now and then we should like look at this board, and then we should fulfill what our fans want. So we actually keep a lot of things there, and one of them was actually from that group. So incidentally, yep, I can read the group's name off there. But yeah, Ruby Red Fashion Friends Sensation Secret is headed by Julie Smiley, and I think she held a lot of votes with group members in there. I think there's about 500 to 800 people, something around that. And they voted for every detail, and they came up with this doll. So she was very popular, and we're so glad to work with all the fans in creating a doll, because it's just fun, right? Sometimes like our designers, they're always just doing it alone, but this isn't it fun if you work with like 500, 800 people to do the same doll together. All the discussions and things like that are quite fun to read. All right, so that's a little bit something about our dolls. Um, let's move on. All right, I just informed by that we have to answer another question. So one of our awesome fan posed a question saying what our favorite doll is, and each of our team member have to choose their favorite doll, and we're going to name them. And I was surprised in there that Will's favorite doll is himself William, which is very surprising. But anyway, take a look at our slideshow. All right, so that's the end of the video. Please leave down suggestions, comments below. And for all of you who knows more than I do, or remembers more than I do, please also leave comments below. And that's it. Yes, like, share, and subscribe, like I always forget.